All right, so yeah, part of the second installment. I think you can kind of pick up on what's going on. The beginning is kind of a summation of the first installment. America's my first love. An 81 Chevy van that used to be mom and dad's. Rigged her to float, full of inner tubes and blow-up dolls, freed some buffalo with the girl who freed me, and set off for Catalina Island to roam with the rest. Buffaloes. Smoked my last that night, water flapping against the fender, through the floorboards, crashing the windshield as I drove in. They found me floating the next morning between both coasts, 12 miles out. Coast Guard first, then the news. CNN on the belly of the beast, I rolled my window down and flipped it off. NBC, ABC, and CBS came next. Then boats with megaphones. "This is the U.S. Coast Guard." The voice was wheezy, out of breath. "You are sailing an unfit, unlicensed vessel in sovereign waters. We have the right to open fire. Identify yourself." They towed me in the last 12 miles. Cameras rolling as they pulled America from the water. Broke down, rusted out, and flooded. Alternator, radiator, transmission, every plug in every point. Seal and gasket, 3 pistons and a cracked manifold. America's dead. She died in service. That's when I met Alaska, in 2 harbors. Sweet old Alice. She was 96. Sold me an 81 Jeep Grand Wagoneer with 30,000 miles for $400 and my word I'd visit. I named her Sacagawea. She's been home ever since. The foundation sucks. I stomped Brooklyn's tile. Water seeping since the storm. Fuck off. She sloshes to the stove to light a cigarette. It's not that bad. She lives in New Orleans. Never wants me to leave. That's why I call her Brooke. She keeps me running. Seriously, you should move. I am. She wiggles her arms beside her, cigarette clenched between her teeth. See? I'm moving. I laugh, filling a glass at the sink. Here. She spits in it. Fuck that. What? Fuck you. Brooklyn's got away with words, so I tell her again, have some water. Hell no. She stares at me. I got plenty. And it's true. Comes up to my knees in her bedroom. Literally. Used to be when she sucked me off, she'd spit me in the bottle under her bed with the rest. Now they're everywhere, and that's all she does. She blows me. I like your head, she says. You make me think. But there's no proof. She'll do whatever I want, only I never get to ask. She just gives, till I push off in the middle of the night with an empty tank and my headlights off. Brook drained, I steer Sacagawea upriver. Seems everywhere I look there's a levee or a dam changing her course, leeching her power, neutering nature for the sake of security, taming her in the name of man. Fuck that. We are water. All of us. She's everywhere, in everything. We're one and the same, cooped up, damned, and misdirected. Used for power because no one thinks we'll use it ourselves till we do. And I will. Now, Alabama and Georgia live in Kansas City. One in Kansas, the other Missouri. They're sisters. It's always a surprise which is which when I come up from the coast, and coming's different than going, so who I see first is important. Depends what I need. Allie's a bar fight, always swinging. Georgia's a candy apple, round and sweet. She's a carnival treat, shaped like a bell I love ringing. That's what I call them, Allie and Belle. Why? Allie can't understand my need for 1,000 pounds of fireworks. Tubes to shells, crackers to comets, and missiles to multi-shots, even though next week's the 4th of July and all we do when we're together is blow shit up. Their old man owns the biggest fireworks wholesaler in the Midwest, so my request's realistic. I'm putting on a hell of a show, I tell her, and I need your help. Lighting the wick we run behind her truck to watch fish fly out of the creek. Next day I tell Belle the same over breakfast. Bacon, eggs, taters, and toast. Every day. For me, tea. Dirty water. Everything else comes back up. You gotta get that checked, she tells me, chewing. Can't live on tea. She's wrong. I haven't eaten in a week. A man can last more than a month without food, not water. Nothing can. Oceans dry into deserts, sea floors dusted with no sign of life but shattered seashells and cactus skeletons. Centuries ago, in the Phoenix Valley, every Pima family had a canal connecting the Salt River to their crops. Now a river's dried up Now their river is dried up in a dammed lake for weekend fishermen and family camping trips. May as well have a pool deck. Water's got no right there unless it's moving. Neither do we. Time to give it back. The Pima are starving and the desert needs a drink. For a girl named Brooke, she'll never touch the stuff. But she sucks down bourbon by the liter, licking my ear with, "Let's do it." I swallow my shot. "Another," she repeats herself. "Let's do another." "I'm done," I mutter, slushing for the door before she stops me. "To water!" We drink all night, one of her last in the house on account of the flood. "You gotta sink to swim," she says in the bathtub with her clothes on, and I'm all wet. "You're lucky," I tell her. "Arizona's in the middle of a drought." "Bring him some of this then," she splashes. Well, we don't need to. They have their own. Just gotta get it to them. And how are we gonna do that? I tell her about the buffalo in Arkansas, America's first national river, one of the last undammed in the country. Free, like buffalo should be. "What's that got to do with this?" she splashes again. "We're gonna free the Salt River." Georgia tongues a sausage next time I see her. "Excuse me? I need you and your sister." She sips her cup. "To work together. How's that?" "I need those fireworks." She's slopping up yolk. "What for?" "I'll show you on the 4th, I mumble, sucking the yellow from her chin as I take her on the table, bacon clinging to her ass. "What does she say?" Allie's lining up Roman candles 3 hours later, pointing my direction. "She'll do it." "I know," she lights them. "She told me." See, girls expect what they say to mean something, even when they don't mean what they say. I say what I mean, but don't expect a thing. So both sisters are sold on account of the other, Sacagawea lighting the way, stuffed with pyrotechnics, wired, wicked, ready to blow. "Come on, Brooklyn's my bridge, the only way to do this, and we're always crossing." Packing soggy boxes between shots in the living room, I reply through an eye. "Hell no, I can't even see," and slug a drink of beer. "You just drank a loogie," she giggles. "What?" "I spat in that," she says. "Look." Sure enough, her snot's floating in my glass. Stringy, just below the surface. "God damn it," I gag. "Suck it up, let me try." "Try what? There's no way." "I'll ram her." "No." "Yes." She's pouring more shots, scheming. "I'll take the back roads, you light her up, I knock her down. It's a long shot." We raise our glasses. "But it's our shot." Throw our heads back and shoot. Water's the true spirit. It's all we've got. State to state, old or young. Mom dies, dad dies, friends die, all of them. Makes no difference how long you've been running, how far you've gone, or how much you left behind. Everyone needs water. A wise man once said, "It doesn't matter if you know where you're going, long as you stay 2 steps ahead of the person behind you." Now it's time to lose my tail. Allie and Belle have the high road, they just don't know what's coming. That's good, because the river's rising, Brooklyn's sinking, and Sacagawea is about to take a dive. Allie's in her empty swimming pool with a blowtorch the last time I see her, cutting steel for a launch pad. "You're leaving?" she asks, lifting her goggles to her forehead. "Thought we're putting on a show." "We are, but I gotta go alone." "How am I supposed to see?" "The news." I pick up her torch. "Can I borrow this?" When I'm done, she pulls her goggles back down. "What do you mean, the news?" "Put it on the morning of the 4th. I watch her work for an hour, regulating the acetylene and oxygen. "Watch the pressure," she points at the gauge. "You want a stable flame, nice and blue, about this long." She's screaming over the torch. "Hold the handle to light the steel, then go slow, nice and slow." Once Allie's done cutting, she wheels the tanks and hose to Sacagawea, rear end sinking under the weight of the fireworks. "This thing's a fucking time bomb," she says, peeking at the load. "I need my torch back, you know." I pull out the passenger seat to make room. "Collateral," I offer, and set it in her dried out love seat. "Here." She stops me as I drive off, handing a fire extinguisher and leathers through the window. "You're gonna need these." Belle says the same an hour later with 2 bags of home-cooked bacon in her hands. "Vented, so you can eat them straight out of the bag, nice and crispy." "Thanks." I kiss her cheek. "You're a doll, like a chubby white Kachina." "It's a long drive," she reminds me. "At least 1,000 miles. 1,200 to be exact." Always tell someone where you're going, Dad would say when we went hiking. That way they can find you if you fall off a cliff. Or a dam, for that matter. We'll leave it there. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, Ed. Okay.